Hello, it is January 28th. This is 2021, and this video is about 2020. A review, a look back on how I managed to greatly improve my life in 1 year. Linked in the description as well as in the cards. Not cards, what are they called? Maybe they are cards. Whatever the thing is up top. Linked in the description box as well as in that little thingy up in the corner will be the link to the playlist that has multiple videos in which I talk about 2020 and my plan originally. So the beginning and a couple videos talking about how things were going throughout the year. So that is, linked. Go watch those if you have not watched them, or at least the first one, because it talks about what the plan was. But I'll sum it up here as well. So the plan last year that I made was to change my life in a year. Prior to 2020, I had, for multiple years, struggled with all sorts of stuff. My biggest issues were discipline, motivation, all the kinds of things that you kind of need in order to accomplish things in life and be productive and get things done. And I have many dreams and goals, but I had struggled for so long to find motivation to work towards those goals. And that's what I would always tell people. I'd always be like, I just don't have enough self-discipline. Naturally, I don't have enough self-discipline. I don't have motivation. I don't know how to function. That's a thing I would say. I would tell people this stuff, like that I don't really know how to function properly. I can't function like a normal person in all these different realms of my life. Can't spend money right, can't save right, can't eat right, can't exercise right, I can't do school right, I can't find motivation to work, everything. It was just everything, and I couldn't create. I did art in high school, and then it was like I can't make art. I can't read. It was just everything. It was like I can't, like I'm not able to. I don't feel like it. I'm not motivated. I can't discipline myself in order to do these things. So when the new year came around and 2020 was starting and I was thinking I was going to graduate soon, which now I'll probably graduate this year from college, I just felt like I needed to get it together immediately, or else I was just going to waste away. I was going to waste my life. It's all very dramatic. I get very dramatic about this stuff. But that's what I felt like. I felt like if I didn't train myself to be disciplined and get things done and be productive and start working towards my goals, I felt like if I didn't do that, I would waste my potential, waste any talent that I have, any knowledge that I have, that I was gonna waste time. I was just tired of wasting it all and procrastinating all of my dreams, because if you have dreams or goals and you don't put in the work, either daily or weekly or whatever you need to do for that specific task, if you don't practice, if you don't build skills and knowledge, then you're not gonna accomplish your dreams or goals, if you wanna call it different things. So I knew that I had to get it done. I had to start working on it, or else I didn't know what was gonna happen. So when 2020 started, I said, I'm going to make myself do these things. I'm going to make myself start progressing because I was just not. I was just stuck doing the same old things, cycling in the same bad ways and wasting my time. I was freaking out about it because I felt like I couldn't get myself to do anything. Well, I made myself do a lot of things in 2020. So I will tell you right now what I kind of planned. This is my bullet journal, and this is the thing that I wrote out, planned out tasks and things to get done for every single month of 2020. And I made that before 2020 began. The things that I wanted to get done, which I will be showing you my bullet journal and showing you the things I wrote down in just a moment. But the 2020 to-do list was broken down by month, like I just said, and it was different habits and practices that I wanted to start implementing in my life. And in every month, I would build upon those things to get better, practice more. I would do, maybe in February, I did like, let's do this one thing 2 days out of the week. And then in March, let's do it 3 times out of the week, and keep going until I was doing these things majority of the week and all that stuff. And there was also like, I think it was in March, I cut out drinking soda. So I was drinking Diet Coke prior to March 2020, and I wrote down in December of 2019 that I would stop drinking soda in March, and then I did. So I stopped drinking soda. Some of the things on the list did not work out. It looks like, because I was like checking things off the list when I was doing them, right? And I would do every month. I had these little papers, that I had for each month so that I could write down what I had to tackle instead of looking at this every time. And then I would write every week of the month and everything that I had to get done that week and check it off the list. So I did those to get the things done each month. This is me interrupting from the future because I realized that I didn't explain how I changed my life in a year. I didn't explain how I did this stuff. I totally forgot, even though I was planning to title the video How I Changed My Life in a Year, and I totally forget the how-to part. So how I did it was just, at the base of it all was just building habits and practices. So the way that I did it was by starting very simply and very chill about it at the beginning, and then I would just build it as time went on. Because let's say you want to work out like 5 days a week, and to just start right away working out 5 days a week, you might get burnt out. So I just started with let me work out 1 day a week. And then the next month it'd be 2 days a week. The next month, 3 days a week. Next month, 4 days a week, until I got to the amount that I wanted to be doing. And that went for pretty much every thing that I was trying to do that year. So it wasn't that complicated and it wasn't that difficult. I let myself start it out very minimal and then just build upon that, so that I was creating a foundation of the habit. And so I knew how to do it. I knew how it worked for me for every little thing, and I knew when I wanted to do it during the day. And I began a practice 1 day a week, let's say, so that I was just getting comfortable with it and just developing my discipline, starting small, and then basically building up my strength. So yeah, if you're working out, you can't just all of a sudden, if you want to be able to lift a certain amount of weight, let's say, I don't know details of weightlifting, but let's say you want to lift this number of pounds, but you cannot lift that yet. If you do, you will injure yourself. So you start out at a lower weight and you just work your way up over time to be able to lift the weight that you want. What's your goal? Basically, I did that just with lifestyle stuff. So you kind of have to work your brain as if it's working a muscle, like your body, and practice and train it and get it comfortable with a new behavior, because it's really easy to start bad habits, it seems, but it's hard to build good habits, and it takes a while. There's that thing that people say that you can build a habit in 30 days. If you stay consistent with something for 30 days, you will have put that habit into your life. But that wasn't my experience. It took me the whole year to be able to get comfortable with a lot of these habits. And some things I stopped doing, and some things I still need to work on currently. And you have to do things consistently for years for it to be really a thing in your life, I think, because when you grow up, you start to build habits without you even realizing it, because you're a kid and then you're a teenager, and then all of a sudden those habits are a part of you, and it's hard to break them if you think that they're bad habits. What I was doing in 2020 was a mix between breaking old bad habits and building new healthy habits in their place. So it was a little bit of a thing. And you can find out what you want to do for yourself, the habits you need to break and the habits you want to build. And I would say start small. You could be the type of person that could just start right off the bat with the full thing, and maybe you can do it. But I couldn't do that. I knew that I needed to start slowly, ease my way into it, and then stay steady and consistent with it moving forward once I got to the amount of that habit or practice that I was doing. I don't know how else to explain how I did it, so that would be it's really simple in the end. Like it's not like a big mystery, I guess. Because it can be challenging to try to do these things and tackle issues in your life. It's really challenging. But if you can figure out the method and the plan that works for you and form that plan, then it can be a simple thing. The actual goals and the plan is simple, but it's the doing it that's the hard part. And that depends on you and how you deal with discipline and stuff like that. And it might take years for you to figure out what works for you. That's something too. It took me years to even be able to do this, to be prepared for 2020. I mean, I wasn't planning it for years, but by the time 2020 came, I had already put in a lot of work with myself and analyzing myself and the way that I feel and think about all my issues, so that when 2020 came, I was pretty understanding of myself, and I kind of knew, okay, these are my problems with my thinking and where my brain goes in with certain triggers and why my brain has trouble with discipline. So now that I understand that, I can form these plans that are designed for me. So you can try the exact same thing that I did, but you probably have to find you have to form your own plan that's going to work for you and how your brain thinks and what you're comfortable with. But I would recommend starting off small and then building it over time. But try to plan it. Because I had to know what I was doing. That's why I wrote the whole year. I wrote the plan for the whole year in every month, because I needed to know what I was doing. I needed to see the goals. I needed to see the requirements or whatever. I needed to be able to see those things so that I knew where I was heading. I didn't want it to be vague. I didn't want it to be, a goal can't be vague. You need to kind of know how you're measuring it and how to know you're accomplishing it. So I planned the whole year. So I knew at each step of the way, in every month that came along, I knew exactly how far I was going to go next. Instead of just being like, I want to do this year and I'll just do it whenever, That's not, I knew that wasn't going to get me where I wanted to be. It had to be something that I could look on the list and say, this is what's happening and this is what I'm doing. Not, oh, I'm kind of supposed to do this, so I'll just do it whenever I feel like it. That was not going to cut it. So figure out what plan works for you, form it, make sure that it's measurable, and make sure that it is sustainable. Don't get burnt out. Don't push yourself too hard right at the beginning, because you could get burnt out. Everyone was telling me that I was going to get burnt out. I didn't really get burnt out. I just kind of got lazy. Yeah, make sure you can measure it, that it's sustainable, and that it's realistic. And also, do not get mad at yourself if you kind of fail or don't make it happen. Like, be forgiving, but be strict with yourself at the same time. You got to discipline yourself. You have to be disciplined. That's the key to all of it, is being disciplined. And being disciplined is a mix between understanding yourself and having some room to grow and forgiveness, but also being like, I know you can do better. I know you can do better, and I'm going to require you to do better moving forward. And that's directed towards yourself. So, but find out what's most comfortable for you with that, and then you'll find your way. So that's how I did it. That was the how-to part of it that I totally forgot to film. So I guess this will be put back into the other part of the video. And I don't think that there's anything else to say about how I did it. The other part of how I did it, I totally forgot. This is just a detailed part of how I did it. I planned out every day as well. So I had the year planned on a broad perspective or something. Does that make sense? And then I had each month planned, and then I went down to and it was each week, right? Because what the goals were for the month were broken down by the week. So it was the amount of times that I had to do something per week. So then I had it all broken down to the week. And then I broke it all down to the day in my phone. So every week I had every day planned, and I knew what I was doing, because I couldn't carry around my bullet journal everywhere with me. I couldn't carry around my little papers everywhere with me, but I had my phone. So I made sure that I had all the days planned and I knew what I was supposed to do. And it's pretty extreme what I did, so you don't have to do, and you might not have all of the goals that I did. I just had everything all at once that I was trying to do. You can start with 1 or 2. I was doing like 5 or 6 things all at once. It didn't start out in January that way, but later on, as the months progressed, I incorporated more goals, so it just got crazy. Anyway, well, this became like a whole organization thing in my notes app, which now I'm using Notion for organizing and things, which I definitely prefer. It's because I watched Damon Dominique's video and he was talking about Notion and I was like, dang, I gotta get Notion. So I got Notion and I'm using that. So maybe someday I'll show you my Notion. But for now, this is what I did last year in my notes. It's very reflective, so don't mind that. I just had tomorrow at the top because that's how it started. I had some Bible verses just to look at every day. And then I started to break things down. It became like a whole file page, so we're not going to look at that stuff very much, random other things. But then we get down here. This is what started out in the year. This is not what it looked like at the beginning of the year because it was not this extreme. Basically, that's Sunday, and then we had Monday, and then we had Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And I was trying to track my weight a bit there, but I didn't every day. That was just, when I was trying to lose weight. I'm still trying to lose weight, but like in a different way now. But I didn't take notes on my weight the whole year, but that was where I left off at the end of the year. Anyway, so we had all the little things and I tried to break it down like really crazy, like waking up at a certain time. Some of this is planned by the time that I was wanting to start a certain activity, and I would schedule in when I had work and when I had class and all the little things, and I would just do like a check mark. See, like there's a little check mark, so every time I would do one of the tasks, I would just check next to it, and I planned that out for every single day. That was just because I felt like I needed to have a to-do list so I could remember what I was doing because I was doing a lot. So that was another thing about how I did it. So there's that. I'll show you my Notion really quick. Now I have on Notion, I got it daily standards. So I've got the outlook of the week. The cool thing about Notion is it's got these little toggle things. So like you can put the day and it goes down, and they are checklists. Oh my God, I can't press it. Okay. Yeah, so you can just hit the thing instead of doing a little emoji checklist thing. I'm keeping it a lot more simple on Notion and just having a couple different tasks, and then there's all sorts of other stuff. So you can take a glance at that. I'm doing things differently on Notion and differently during 2021, so that's why. But sometime maybe I'll explain all that. I don't need to now though. So that's how I did it. That's all of how I did it. But find your own plan and then you can, like, whatever works for you. But maybe that can give you some tips on how to really make a habit stick, I guess is what I'm saying. Because everyone wants to make New Year's resolutions, and we all know that they don't always work out. So that's how I did it, how I made them stick. But it also might have just been my stubbornness and perseverance in the fact that I felt like I needed to do it, or else I was going to be just mad at myself if I didn't do a lot of these things. So, it depends on what place you're in your life. If you feel like you're ready to do something like that, then you should try to do it, but find your own way. So that's that. Now let's get back to the other stuff that I filmed. But I did start to slack. It looks like in the summertime. So like June and July, I started to slack off on things. And then August and September, I was struggling to get things done. And then October, November, December, I really just totally stopped looking at this and I stopped doing the papers. But I still stayed productive pretty much, and I kept up with a majority of the things that I wanted to make sure that I was doing. I just stopped keeping track of it, and I stopped focusing on how many times a week I was doing something, and I just tried to do everything as much as I could. So that is something I will say is I knew when I made this that it was, what's the word? Aggressive or bold or something. Not bold. It was like it was going to be tough. I knew that it was kind of extreme and that it might not really happen. I might not totally stick to the plan the whole way through, and I was fine with that. My card just is saying that it's full when it's not full, so I had to get another card. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So I knew that there was a possibility that I wouldn't get everything done, you know, but I was fine with that. I just wanted to make sure that I was trying and putting in the effort, because I think it's better to have goals and put in the work and try, at least just attempt to get things done, than to not get anything done just because you think it's not going to happen. I'll just tell you really quickly, in general, the things that I wanted to be doing. My main goals were to work out more, to lose weight, to eat different foods, and cook more, to practice cooking, to drink more water, meditate more, do yoga more, read the Bible more, read books, like more books, and read more often, to do paintings again, watch some more movies, and to start practicing Italian. I think that's all the stuff that I was trying to accomplish last year, because prior to last year I wasn't doing like anything. That's why these things might not seem like a lot of stuff, but to me it was like life-changing and very fundamental to my goals. So that's the stuff that I was trying to get done. And I'll say I lost weight. I did. I think I lost about 15 pounds. I don't know if I wrote that down somewhere. Oh yeah, I wrote down like, okay, what went well in 2020? But yeah, so I wrote this. So let me actually read this for a second then. So what went well in 2020? I did lose weight. Like I said, I think I lost about 15 pounds. I did watch more movies. I read some books, but not as many as I wanted to, and I didn't read as much as I was wanting to. One book I spent like half the year reading, and it's still not done, and it's not very big. This book, it's 1776 by David McCullough, and it's not that big, but I'm still only like halfway through the book. I barely read, guys. I don't have a lot of time, but I wanted to read more last year, and I didn't really do that. But I tried. I did read, but not as much as I wanted, and that's okay. But I did read books. I did read the Bible a lot. Oh, another thing, I wanted to practice guitar more and like learn how to play guitar for real. And I can say that I think I know how to play guitar now. It's hard for me to say like I know how to play guitar, but I pretty much do. I obviously I can still improve and learn forever and ever for the rest of my life, but I know a lot more now than I did before, and I'm so grateful, because it's really intimidating to start learning an instrument. It makes you not even want to start, because it's like, how am I going to learn how to do this? How am I ever going to sound good? And it's really hard, actually. Guitar is a really hard instrument to learn, in my opinion. It's simple, but it's hard to sound good. Like when I'm trying to play it, it doesn't sound really good. But I'm practicing, and I definitely improved through 2020. And I'm so glad that I made myself do it. Because if I didn't, this is the thing, if you never start, you will not get good. So I just wanted to make myself start. So I did that. And then I did build up my savings, because I wanted to save more money last year. I did that, but not as much as I wanted to, of course. But this year I'm being more aggressive with my savings. So that'll be better. Another goal was that I wanted to cover some songs and put them on YouTube, which I did. And you can go watch those. I only did like 2, I think. But in some of my videos, you can hear me covering some songs a tiny bit, just singing them, practicing. But there are only 2 videos that I officially uploaded that were covers, I'm pretty sure. But you can go watch those. I started practicing and learning Italian, which is great. I need to get back to practicing. I've been slacking. Well, it's not necessarily slacking this past month. It's just my life has been a little bit messed up, so I haven't been able to be practicing Italian, but I want to again. I'm trying to learn Italian, so it's important to practice, but I started doing that last year, and I'm glad that I did. I did cook a lot. I cooked a lot of meals, which was amazing. And I practiced so much that now I feel more comfortable in the kitchen. I feel more comfortable cooking. I bought a cookbook specifically to cook in 2020, and I made a lot of the meals in that, and they were great. Some didn't work, but some were amazing. But that's what you do. You practice, you gotta learn what you're doing and learn what you like. And that was super important for me to do that. So that went really well. I painted 1.5 pieces. I finished one painting. Let me grab it. The painting that I finished is this one. That's of Tony Stark. But I tried to do it like a Renaissance style or something. So I did this one, and this one's finished. but I didn't finish my second painting that I was working on. I'm still going to finish, but it's not finished yet. And this is Blade Runner inspired. It's Deckard and Kay from Blade Runner 2049. This is from Blade Runner, first one obviously. So this one is not finished, but I started working on that. So I did paint more. It was really good that I started a lot of these things, but I didn't finish everything or do it as much as I wanted to, but that doesn't matter. It's still important that I did all that. I'll just continue carrying on these practices. I did eat healthier too. It was really slow going and it takes a long time to adapt. Some people, it might not be that, where some people might be able to just pick up eating healthier foods and cut out unhealthy foods, and that's that, and it's easy and they do it like in a week. That's not the case for me. It took me a long time and I have to be slow. I can't do like cold turkey with anything. It's got to be a slow lifestyle change that can be sustainable, and I have gotten better with that, and I'm continuing to get better as we go, because in my January vlog I'll be talking about some issues I was having this month, so watch that if you want to know what I'm talking about. But what I'm saying is I was better last year with my eating, but I still have a lot more improvement to make. I think maintaining health or becoming healthy is something you will have to do for your whole life. So nothing's ever like, I'm doing it now and then it's gonna be done. Like, you just have to take care of yourself forever if you can. That's mostly it. I think that's pretty much it. So what I'm saying is I managed to really change everything so much that I barely remember how my life was before 2020. And also I want to say 2020 was a crazy year for the world and everybody. I am glad that it went okay for me, and I'm lucky enough that that happened. I understand that for a lot of people it wasn't the case. Hopefully though, you can have a better 2021 and maybe try to do what I did in a way and set goals and try to accomplish them and practice things and get healthier and mentally and physically, and clean up your life a bit. Even though the world is crazy, you can try to better things in your own life. And that's something that I learned last year, is that even though the world was falling apart around me, I could still be in control of the things in my life that I could control and try to improve in those parts of my life. Even if I can't like save the world, I couldn't anyway, no matter what. So everything really comes down to your life and what you can do for yourself to feel better and to feel more comfortable in life. I guess I also taught myself that I could be disciplined and I could be motivated. It just takes practice for me. It's taken me years to get better at those things, and I still can get better. It's still not perfect, but I feel a lot more confident now in my abilities to do things. Because before I was like, I can't do anything, even though I want to do everything. So now I feel like I can do things. Like, I know that I can now. That's a huge improvement for me and my self-image. So 2020 really changed that significantly, and I feel so much better. I just feel lighter than I did before 2020. Before that, I was just weighed down and felt like I could barely breathe with all the pressure of things in my head. But now I feel a lot better. I'm dealing with some stress right now from other things, but in terms of my idea of myself and my capabilities, I'm so much more comfortable with that now. And I just feel like it's gonna get better and better, even though life will go up and down and I will have bad times again. But I'm gonna be happy and grateful for all the better times that I have while I have them. So anyway, I am just so glad that I did all the things I did in 2020, and I wouldn't take it back. And I am so grateful to my previous self for deciding to do this and for putting in the work and being committed, because I today am better off for it. So if anybody feels like the same way that I did, I encourage you to just set some goals and try your hardest to start doing them. Even if you fail at them, just continue to start again. Get up and start again. Like, don't give up on yourself if something seems to not work out time and time again, because I've been there. I am still there. There are things that I still cannot get right in my life, but I don't give up. I know that I can in the future because you have to build your resilience and build that discipline. It is possible to strengthen yourself and get better. You just have to be patient with yourself, forgiving when you make a mistake, and just be better next time and continue on. But it's hard. It's definitely hard. Like, none of it is easy. But I think it's better to be more hopeful and have your dreams and don't give up on them, but be realistic. You have to be realistic. But, I don't know. But this is just how things worked for me. I know that things are different for everybody, and everybody has their own like struggles in their head and things that kind of feel like they're preventing them from doing things. So all I can say is try to figure out for yourself where you're at in that, and you have to navigate it. I don't know if any of that makes sense, but that sums up 2020. I want to now go to the overview of my bullet journal, and we're going to look at the goals I set and check things off, and that'll be it for the video, I think. So I pretty much managed to do most of the stuff that I wanted to do. This is a layout that I do kind of every year. I did one for 2019 and I did one for 2021. Okay, this is a sneak peek of the one from 2021. There's nothing on here that I wouldn't want to show, right? Yeah, so that's the 2021 page. I talked about this a bit in my January vlog, so if you want to know my reasoning for some of this, watch that video. Now back to, so yeah, I mostly did all this stuff. Yeah, I wrote there, pass my classes, right? Where is it? Pass my classes. I didn't pass all of them. Really unfortunate. I passed most of them, but not all of them, so I put a little unhappy face. I did not pay off my credit card. I'm working on that. I'm hoping to pay it off by the end of this year, but I did not pay it off during 2020. So yeah, there's that. My yoga practice, I did not make it completely like a regular practice, like daily. So that's why I put sorta. I did yoga more, but it's not a regular practice. So that's that. Then I didn't write a song. I started to work on a song, so I'm kind of working on writing songs, but I didn't write a full song, so that's why there's an X there. And then over here, let's see. Yeah, I did cut back on the sugar, the carbs, and I lost some body fat, but I didn't cut out sugar or carbs completely. I want to say that. I didn't cut them out completely. I'm not planning on cutting them out completely. You need both sugar and carbs in your life, just like not a ton. So I didn't cut them out. I just cut back on them. So that's good. Spending, I didn't spend as much in 2020, but I can still improve on that. I have a budget now. I just don't always stick to it. Yeah, I didn't sit around so much and waste time. Picking is in reference to skin picking, which if you have no idea what I'm talking about with that, I have a video which I'll put up in the thing about Dermatillomania. That's what I'm talking about with this. So watch that video. I sort of got better with that, but I didn't stop completely. So that's that. And then the more page. Oh yeah. So what I was saying is, this is the goals of the year. This is the like, I want to do less of this stuff, and I want to do or have more of this stuff in my life. So that's that page. Also, this is copied from IO Till It Right. So that's where I got this layout from. So the more page, I wanted to eat more veggies, eat more fruit, eat more protein, drink more water. I definitely did that. Then more exercise, which I did. More reading, which I did. More God time and reading the Bible, which I did. Savings, I did build up my savings more. I listened, this I think is in reference to listening to more music, because I think before 2020 I was like not really listening to a lot of music because I was just not feeling good. So I think I listened to more music for sure, definitely. More singing, which I did. Guitar, I did practice guitar. More meditation, even though I slacked off on my meditation and yoga at the end of the year, I did do more of it overall in the year. So those two things, I did that. And then cooking, I did cook more, and art, I did more art. So overall, I did really well with accomplishing a lot of my goals in 2020, and I am hoping to do more in 2021. I think I'll be able to get it done. So that is it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it through the whole video, thank you. And I hope that you enjoyed. I hope it gave you some motivation. I don't know. If you need motivation, I have a video on productivity. I'll put that up in the thing right now. Go watch that video. And besides that, I hope you have a good year. I hope you can accomplish your goals as well. Good luck. I know it's possible. Like, I don't know you, but I believe in you. So don't give up on yourself. That's just a big thing I can tell you, okay? Don't give up on yourself. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. But I'm sure if you're watching this, you're probably subscribed. But if you're not, then you have to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Also, if that ending to that video is bad, this is the ending to this video now. I'll film another one. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye. That's bad too. That's bad. I'll just take some coffee here.